My turn.
Okay, you want to introduce yourself now?
Yep. My name is Rocklin Beaudrie. I'm currently a senior at West Hope High School. I play football, basketball, and golf. Our football season just got over, and basketball is getting right around the corner.
Do you have any questions you want to ask me, or do you want me to ask my questions?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Um, so I'll start asking, okay? What is your favorite sport?
I'd probably have to say basketball. I've been doing basketball since I was like a kindergartner, first grader. I've done it my whole life, and that's just always been my favorite sport to watch, to play, and all that.
Who is your favorite athlete?
Um, right now, I'd probably have to say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder. Once he got traded from the Clippers and he's had some pretty good seasons for us. I've liked him just because he's on my favorite team. But in the past and kind of currently, it's been Russell Westbrook, but he's kind of fallen off and he's gotten back into his groove with the Kings. But I like Shea more than him right now just because Shea's on the Thunder.
What is your main positions that you play in the sports that you play?
For football, for offense, I only play wide receiver. But then for defense, it depends. It depended on the game we played. I could play safety. I could play corner. It was either of those two positions. And then for basketball, this year it's mainly going to be point guard, but last year was shooting guard.
Well, you kind of answered this one, but what is your favorite team, pro and college sports teams?
My favorite basketball team, NBA, is the Oklahoma City Thunder, and NFL, I like the Cardinals and the Commanders. I like the Commanders because Jaden Daniels is my favorite football player, but I've liked the Cardinals since I was a little kid. And for college, I like Michigan State for both teams or both sports.
Is there a reason that you like the Cardinals and the Thunder
I've liked the Cardinals since I
players,
was
or
little. Yeah, since the Cardinals, I liked the Cardinals when I was little because I started watching football. I saw Larry Fitzgerald on my screen, and he's really great wide receiver, really good, and I've liked him. And then I just liked the Cardinals since. And then the Thunder, when I started watching basketball, that's when the Thunder had Russ, KD, and Harden, and I really liked their dynamic and I liked their trio. And I started liking them. I haven't stopped watching them since.
what are your goals after high school? Do you plan to play sports, or what do you plan to study academically?
Um, I might play basketball. I'm undecided yet, but if I don't, I'm gonna study to be a cardiologist and go into med school and all that.
Have you got any college basketball offers or none yet?
I don't have any offers. I kind of have an interest, and it's only from one school, and that's maybe the only school that I really want to play basketball for because of their med program.
Would you like to share the name or not?
Yeah, I've been. It's Mayville State.
What advice would you give to younger kids that want to play sports?
Um, it doesn't matter how good you are right now, as long as you always put in the work work extra hard more than everybody else, put in the work that nobody else will see, then you'll be better. You'll get better every day. It doesn't matter how much time you put in, as long as you put in effort and put in time, you're always going to get better. So just don't give up right now, just because some kid in your class is taller and athletic than you. You still have a bunch of time left. You can still get better. Just put in the work and be good.
What workouts or stuff do you do during the off season, or do you play sports year round?
Um, I do AAU, or I did. That's over now. I used to do that, but in the off season, I try to get in the gym as much as possible. We have a shooting machine at West Oak. I try to use that as much as possible. But if I can't get to West Oak, I go Newburgh and I just do jump shots, workouts, layups, handling, and all those drills.
What do you like most about the sports that you play?
Football. I just like that. You can go physical. You can be as physical as you want. You can go as hard as you want every play. And I just really liked how you could just do whatever you want in football essentially until you get really bad and then you get flagged. And then basketball, I just I've liked it since I was just a kid and I've liked everything about it. And then I was watching it since I was a kid. And I just want to be like the people that I've always watched. The people from my old school wanted to be like them and I just want to be good and be the best as possible.
Football, do you guys run the ball more? Because you're a nine-man school, right?
Yeah. Yep. We ran the ball a lot this year, especially after Tiger got hurt. After our quarterback got injured, we were mainly run. I'd say 90%, 95% run after Tiger got hurt. But before that, we were maybe 70, 30, 60, 40 around there. Before Tiger got hurt, we threw the ball a little bit every now and then. Against Alexander, we threw the ball a lot because they're so big and so physical up front. So we had to adapt and throw the ball. But we were mainly run.
Do you have any predictions and who you think's going to win the state titles this year in football? Any ideas?
Um, I think for 9 man, it's gonna be a close game between Lemoore and New Rockford. I think they'll both win today, and I think they'll both. It's gonna be a good one. I don't really know who's gonna win. I know New Rockford's got Simon as their quarterback and that wide receiver Benz. They're pretty good, and then Lemoore's running back that Theologist kid. He's really good as well. For 11 man, I don't know. It all depends on who wins today because that Velva Langdon game, I have a feeling is gonna be close, and I think the winner of that game will win the state championship. And then I think Minot North will win their division, and then Davies will win theirs as well.
What do you think your basketball team's biggest strengths and weaknesses will be this season? You
I
guys
think,
re, you guys return quite a bit, or I know you graduated Walker Broughton and he was what an all-state player, what not?
yeah, we graduated 5 guys that played, and we have 3 guys returning that played a bunch of our same minutes from last year. Graduated Walker. We got also Braden, who was also an All State. We graduated Will Arts, Dayton Hawkins, and Trayton Lesman as well. They were all pretty good at what their roles and their positions were doing. So yeah, we don't return a lot, but I think our biggest strengths is we're going to be able to do what Westfield basketball does. I think we're going to be able to push the floor up and down the court, press, and all that. And we will be able to still shoot the ball pretty well, I think, and we'll still be able to drive. I just think our weaknesses, we're not that big anymore. We never were big. Walker was like our only other tall guy that we had that played. Hunter Tall says our biggest guy, he's 6'3", 6'4". So I think our biggest weakness is definitely going to be our size.
Do you think your region is going to be kind of loaded like it was last year? It seems like it looks like it's going to be pretty good again, right?
Yep. Yep. But we got Ray, who's got that Barman kid. They have Blake Bergstrom, Jace Becker. They're going to be really good from the other district. And our district, again, is going to be loaded with us, Mo Hall, Ari Demers, Velva, and Bishop Ryan. And at TGU with Sage back. We also have Surrey, Glenburn, and Drake, who are also they're scrappy, and you can never count anybody out in our district. I think.
I think in the Hoopster book they have our Redeemers, and our Redeemers was pretty good last year too.
Yeah, yeah, they're going to be good. They return White Weekly and Nolan Schmidt, and they had their shooters Peyton Lindbo and Colin Swinson back, and they got a couple guys off the bench that played a lot of minutes last year too.
They were at state last year, or who was this? There was three teams out of your region, right? Or was it?
Yep, our Redeemers made it. Us, our Redeemers, and Ryan, and we Ryan took first, we got second, and our Redeemers was third.
What do you guys want as your goal to be this basketball season?
Um, obviously we made the state tournament 2 years in a row. It'd be awesome to get back there, but I mean, we want to make regions. We want to make regions, and we want to be competitive. We want to prove everybody that's saying, oh, they don't have Walker and Braden, they're not gonna be any good this year. We want to like get back in the groove and be good and be competitive, just like we always have been.
What is your pregame ritual?
Um, so I usually, if it's a home game, I'll go home and I'll make a sandwich and I put it in the air fryer and toast it. But if it's not a home game, I just get on the bus. I might have a sandwich with me. Listen to music, and I always, before we get in the locker room and play on the speaker, I this is probably a hot take, but I usually listen to Tate McRae. I don't know why, but she gets me locked in, and I just listen to her. That's been my pregame rituals for about 2 years now.
What is your favorite shot to shoot in basketball? Three pointer,
Um,
layup, mid range, free throws.
I like the mid range a lot, but it's not a very high percentage shot. So I do like the 3 pointer. I've fallen in love with the 3 pointer over the years. If I can get to the rim, I'll get to the rim, and I can try to get fouled. I love free throws. They're the easiest shot in the game other than layups because you're wide open. No one's guarding you, and you're by yourself.
What major highlights have you had in sports in your high school career?
Um, Obviously my sophomore year when we won the whole thing, that was huge. That was probably I'll never be able to live that down. I mean, the only way I could live that down is doing it again. But that was probably the biggest moment in my career. And last year, getting in the state tournament and just the crowd and everything, it's a great environment to be in. Class B basketball is one of the best environments in North Dakota, especially state at that dome. The dome gets loud, it gets rocking. That's probably just I just love that. The atmosphere and everything, the environment during state basketball is just awesome.
And this year, the state B is back in Minot, right? Minot State Dome.
Yeah, I believe. Yep, yeah, it is.
I've never been to any of the state tournaments, but I thought with the B being this year there, because the dome has been remodeled some, I think.
Yep, it's been gotten bigger over the years.
Which side of the ball do you think is more important, offense or defense?
I think defense is way more important because if you can get a stop and go down and score, it's huge. As long as you get that stop on defense, you're always going to pile up those stops, get more stops, more stops. You're going to hold your opponents to such low scores. As long as you score on the other end, you should be able to win a lot of games. But it doesn't if you can score say 60 points every game, but you also let up 60 plus points every game, you're always going to be playing close games. You're always going to have a tough game against anybody, whoever you play, just because you can't get a stop on defense.
This one might be a little difficult, but I'll ask it. If a game is tied in the fourth quarter, would you want to take the final shot on your team?
Um, I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to say either myself or Hunter Tolstead, whichever one's hot or whatever point we need. If we need a bucket inside the paint, I'd say Hunter because Hunter's just a big force and he can get around his way in the paint. If we need a three, if I'm hot, give me the ball. But if I'm not hot, I'd rather have Ty Arts or Tiger Lee or Brody Kirk take the shot as long as whoever's feeling it that day. If whoever's feeling it that day is better, then give them the shot. I don't care if I'm not hot and I'm not making my shots, give it to somebody else.
But you guys lost all five of your starters from last year, or did you? Because there was some that came off the bench, right? Because you came off the bench, right? So you'll be
Yep, yep,
starting this year then?
yep. We lost four starters. Trayton Lesman, he also came off the bench with us. He was part of our little defensive mob, go in there and pressure people and make everybody tired. But we Hunter Tolstead started last year for us, and he played a bunch of minutes for us last year. He's huge. But yeah, I'll start this year, and um, I don't really know what else is going to happen with the starting rotation.
Is Tiger, were you gonna be back after that football injury he had? Or do you know?
Um, I don't. His timetable is supposed to be around February, March, but he's trying to do a bunch of recovery plans, a bunch of laser treatment, a bunch of other stuff. He's trying to get back as soon as he possibly can. So I don't really know as of right now, but his doctor's telling him he's recovering good, he's doing good. So hopefully he can get back in time. But if not, we'll have to adapt as a team and just play without it.
Yeah, I'll ask. I think I just have one question left. What hobbies or interests do you have outside of playing sports?
Um, I like to hang out with my friends, just go out and do stuff with them. I also like to play Madden, play NBA 2K. Those are my favorite games. I just like the game. I like to hang out with my family a lot too. I do that a lot, and that's probably about it. Because other than that, if I aren't doing any of those things, I'm probably either at home resting or I'm in the gym.